Roald Dahl was a famous British writer who told captivating and imaginative stories. He was born in Wales on September 13, 1916, to Norwegian parents. Sadly, his father died when he was just 3 years old, which had a big impact on him and influenced his writing. Dahl went to schools in England and had some tough times with teachers, but he loved books and stories, thanks to his mother's encouragement. During World War II, he served in the Royal Air Force as a pilot and became famous for his brave adventures in the sky. He even survived a dangerous plane crash in Libya. These experiences inspired some of his later books. His writing career began with a children's book called The Gremlins in 1943. He wrote it for Walt Disney and it had a mix of dark humor and fantastical elements. But it was James and the Giant Peach in 1961 that made him really famous. Over the years, Dahl wrote many beloved children's books like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, The BFG, The Witches, and Fantastic Mr. Fox. His stories often had mischievous kids facing challenges and meeting strange adults. People loved Dahl's witty and sometimes dark writing, and his books were translated into many languages and sold millions of copies worldwide. Some of them even became successful movies and plays. Apart from being a writer, Dahl was also an inventor. He made medical devices, like a valve to help treat a condition called hydrocephalus, which his son had. Sadly, Roald Dahl passed away on November 23, 1990, when he was 74 years old. But his books continue to enchant readers of all ages, making him one of the most beloved and influential children's authors ever. James and the Giant Peach, 1961. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, 1964. The Magic Finger, 1966. Fantastic Mr. Fox, 1970. Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, 1972. Danny, the Champion of the World, 1975. The Enormous Crocodile, 1978. The Twits, 1980. George's Marvelous Medicine, 1981. The BFG, Big Friendly Giant, 1982. The Witches, 1983. The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me, 1985. Matilda, 1988. Easy-O Trot, 1990. The Min Pins, 1991. Roald Dahl wrote books that are funny and a bit dark. People of all ages love his stories because they are full of imagination and take you to magical places. Here are some things you'll find in his books. Funny and dark, Dahl's stories have jokes and funny moments, but they also have some darker parts that make them unique and interesting. Amazing imagination, Dahl can create fantastical worlds that are so vivid and imaginative. You'll see things like a magical chocolate factory or a giant peach sailing across the sea. Strong kids. Many of Dahl's main characters are kids who face tough situations or mean adults. But they are strong and smart, and they find ways to overcome their challenges. Tricky kids. Dahl's child characters are often mischievous and clever. They outsmart the adults who try to control or harm them, showing that kids can be resourceful and capable. Mean bad guys. Dahl's books have really mean and cruel villains who cause problems for the heroes. But in the end, the villains get what they deserve. Not always clear good and bad. Sometimes, it's not easy to tell who's good or bad in Dahl's stories. He likes to explore complex ideas of right and wrong, making readers think. Magic and fairy tale magic. Dahl's stories have magical elements, like fairy tales. You'll encounter extraordinary things and characters that exist in a world full of wonder. Gross stuff. Dahl isn't afraid to be a bit gross, which kids often find funny. He describes strange and yucky things in a comical way. Lessons to learn. Many of Dahl's stories teach valuable lessons. Characters grow and change, learning important things as they go through their adventures. Overall, Roald Dahl's books are captivating and loved by readers of all ages. He's one of the most cherished children's authors ever, thanks to his amazing storytelling and themes that speak to everyone. Matilda is a novel by Roald Dahl about a gifted young girl named Matilda Wormwood who has extraordinary intelligence and a love for reading. Unfortunately, her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Wormwood, are selfish and neglectful, showing no appreciation for her brilliance. They send her to a terrible school run by the cruel and authoritarian headmistress, Miss Trunchbull. Despite the challenges she faces, Matilda doesn't let her circumstances define her. Instead, she discovers her telekinetic powers, which she uses to play pranks on the adults who mistreat her. Along the way, she befriends her kind-hearted teacher, Miss Honey, who recognizes Matilda's potential and encourages her to embrace her gifts. Together, they stand up to Miss Trunchbull and create a positive change in their lives and the school. Matilda's resilience is evident in how she navigates her difficult family situation and school environment. Despite being surrounded by awful parents and facing a tyrannical headmistress, Matilda remains strong-willed and determined. She doesn't let the negative words and treatment from her parents or Miss Trunchbull destroy her self-esteem or passion for learning. Matilda's growth mindset is evident in her belief in herself and her abilities. Despite not receiving any support from her parents or teachers, she continues to challenge herself intellectually and remains curious about the world. She embraces her unique talents and doesn't allow the negative opinions of others to limit her potential. The presence of Miss Honey in Matilda's life is crucial in fostering her growth mindset and resilience. Miss Honey is the one good adult who sees Matilda's worth and nurtures her intellect and emotional well-being. She provides the support and encouragement that Matilda lacks at home and empowers her to be the best version of herself. Matilda's story teaches us that resilience and growth mindset can help overcome challenging circumstances. Believing in oneself and not allowing negativity to define us are powerful tools for personal growth. Additionally, the positive influence of even one caring and supportive adult can make a significant difference in a child's life, fostering their potential and resilience. Roald Dahl's appeal to me lies in his ability to create captivating and imaginative stories that transport readers, both young and old, to fantastical worlds filled with mischievous adventures. Despite some finding his writing disturbing, I appreciate the way he fearlessly delves into darker themes and challenges traditional norms in children's literature. Dahl's iconic book, James and the Giant Peach, is a prime example of his storytelling prowess. The tale of a young boy embarking on an extraordinary journey with a giant peach, facing cruelty from his aunts, is a testament to Dahl's unique ability to blend fantasy with real-life challenges. This story, like many others he penned, taught me valuable lessons about courage, resilience, and the power of imagination. Fantastic Mr. Fox, the BFG, and Matilda are also close to my heart. Dahl's characters are unconventional and relatable, often children who use their wit and cleverness to outsmart oppressive adults and villains. These empowering portrayals have inspired countless readers, including myself, to believe in their own abilities and stand up for what is right. While some critics may point to offensive words and dark themes in his books, I appreciate that Dahl never shied away from exploring complex emotions and fears. He recognized that children are capable of handling more than just sweetness and light, and his stories allowed me to confront my own anxieties in a safe and enjoyable way. Furthermore, Dahl's life experiences and hardships undoubtedly influenced his writing, giving his stories a depth and authenticity that resonates with readers. His willingness to address tough subjects with honesty and humor made his books stand out in the world of children's literature. In conclusion, Roald Dahl appeals to me because of his ability to create imaginative, empowering, and thought-provoking stories. His books have a special place in my heart, as they have not only entertained me but also taught me valuable life lessons. Despite criticism, Dahl's contributions to children's literature are undeniably significant, and his stories continue to captivate the hearts of readers all over the world, both young and old.